Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Nae's Pink Bookshelf. My name is Nae for those of you who are new to the channel or who just happen to stumble across this video. And today's video is going to be my Book of the Month YA unboxing slash haul. Now, I have a total of 7 books to share with you guys. And that is because if you guys were on Twitter or watched on YouTube, there was a bit of a mix-hap with one of the books that they had for their YA pick. And it was a whole, hassle with everyone, so they ended up sending me another book to replace the book that I wanted because I couldn't get it. However, whatever the case may be, we now have 7 books, which I'm totally here for. So again, I paid for 3. I got another book because they were sending a replacement book, and then I also was gifted a Book of the Month YA box from a family member, which I thought was great. So 7 books. I think I said 8 books in my Book of the Month unboxing, but it's really 7, not 8. I wasn't doing the math correctly in my head, but yes. So for those of you who don't know what Book of the Month YA is, it is basically Book of the Month Club, and it's basically their YA version where they have YA books for YA lovers. And I know I just said YA multiple times, but pretty much what it is they have 5 books for the month. They basically, for the month of November, they have 5 selections. You pick one of those books to be your book of the month, and then you can add up to 2 additional books for $9.99 each. Your first book will be $14.99, so you're paying $15 for 1 book, $25 for 2, or $35 for 3 books. And I think that's a great deal because most of the times they're going to be brand new releases, early releases, debut novels, or they have special editions of backlisted novels. And I think it's just a great way to get a book. It is the most cheapest book box out there that I found. Most book boxes start at $29.99, go up to $50. And in those book boxes, you never get to really pick your book. However, with Book of the Month YA, you do get to see the books beforehand, read reviews if you don't know about them, get a little snippet, synopsis. You can even read a preview chapter of the book before you actually go ahead and select that book for the month. So I really, really love Book of the Month YA, Book of the Month Club. Just both of them are fantastic. Again, if you haven't seen my haul for Book of the Month for November, just click the eye on the screen for that. But you can tell how I love Book of the Month because this whole shelf is Book of the Month. I used to have them up there, but I moved them down lower just because I needed more space because I knew I had these books coming. If you guys are interested in signing up, you can get your first box for $5 if you use the code YES5. I will leave all of that down below in the description box. I am also a Book of the Month YA affiliate, so you can use my link. And okay, so let's just get into these books that I got because I'm super, super excited. And I'm going to start off with the box that I haven't opened yet so you guys can see the packaging. So here is the Book of the Month YA packaging. It is hot pink with yellow stars and just cute funness all over it. Regular Book of the Month Club is a blue box, so I love that they have a different colored box for their packaging for Book of the Month YA. When you open it up, you're going to see this thing that says Read Your Heart Out, and it just says Book of the Month YA, and then all of your books are in here. Your books come wrapped up, which I think is great because when the weather is bad, your box gets damaged, it gets wet, whatever, from rain, snow, or however. Your books won't become wet because they are wrapped up in this plastic together neatly, which is great. So we are going to tear into this sucker. Alrighty. I'm so excited. So, one of these books is a thriller, and I'm really new to thrillers. I don't really do thrillers, just saying. But you always get a bookmark. I heard that someone was saying how they wished Book of the Month YA would have Book of the Month YA bookmarks instead of regular Book of the Month bookmarks, and I think that would just be smart to do pink bookmarks to go with Book of the Month YA instead of Book of the Month, or at least put YA on it. I thought that was smart that the person said that, and I agree that they should try to take the YA brand further into their bookmarks and other things. Even make a tote bag for the YA brand. 5 books for the month, and I literally have 4 minus 1. So I have 4 of the 5 books, but I'm going to start off with this one. This book is called Have No Secrets by Penny Joelson. This is a thriller, I heard. I don't do thrillers. I'm not a thriller person, but of the picks that I had to pick from that were left, this was the one that sounded good. There was a contemporary, a thriller, and a couple of fantasies thrown in there for the month. So I went with this, and I don't know much about it. It looks like a small read, so I thought it'd be cool. But let's read the flap, okay? Gemma knows who the murderer is. She knows because he told her. He thought his secret was safe because Gemma can't speak or move. But Gemma observes all kinds of things about everyone around her. His secret is just one of them. And when a new technology means she may be able to communicate and reveal all she knows, Gemma no longer feels powerless in the face of this deadly secret. It's a race against time before the killer acts again or tries to stop her. So it sounds like it's going to be interesting. It says, here's a secret for you, and I know you won't tell anyone. He presses his face close to mine, so close I can feel his hot breath on my cheeks. They're never gonna catch me. Holy crap, that actually sounds interesting. I'm interested to see how this goes. Again, I'm not a thriller person, but again, Book of the Month Club, their books are specially printed. So what I mean is that they have a logo here on the top that says Book of the Month. On the spine that says Book of the Month. On the back, they have this little heart logo with the month and the year. And then their actual hardcovers are dual toned. So this one is going to be black and red with gold foiling. So it says Book of the Month here and then on the spine up here, which I think is great that they do that. Their books, like I said, are specially printed. I will compare it to Wicked King, I guess, since Wicked King is right here. So I'm going to compare the height to Wicked King, okay? And we're just going to place it on top. So, I don't know if you guys can tell. It's definitely taller and a smidget wider, but they look good on the shelf. As you can see, they look really great. So, we're just going to stick Wicked King back on the shelf. And I'm so stoked because I have a copy of Queen of Nothing coming, and I'm like so ready for it. But yeah, here is the first book that I got in this box, and this book retails for $16.99, so $17, but you're paying $15 for it. So I mean, do the math. Great. Even though you're saving $2, I still think it's a great deal, and you don't have to pay shipping. Awesome. But that is one of the picks. Next, I went with a backlist novel from their May 2019 selections, and that is going to be We Hunt the Flame by Hafsah. I'm not even gonna attempt to butcher it. We're not gonna do that. But all I know is that this is fantasy. I've heard mixed reviews, but it still sounded like something that I would want to read just because I'm a fantasy lover, so I'm going to give it a go. I really do like the cover. I know that there are some other covers out there with gold foiling. I really hope that Book of the Month steps into foiling, doing gold foil and silver foiling sometime soon. But again, with the pricing, I guess it makes sense. But, you know, we're not going to complain. But here is, again, the Book of the Month logo. There. This was from May 2019. And this is going to be black and yellow with gold foiling, which is so pretty. I think this is cute. I don't know anything about this book. This one retails for $19, $18.99. But we're going to read the flap to see what it's about. People lived because she killed. People died because he lived. Zafira is the hunter, disguising herself as a man when she braves the cursed forest of the Ars to feed her people. Nasir is a prince of death, assassinating those foolish enough to defy his autocratic father, the Sultan. If Zafira is exposed as a girl, all her achievements will be rejected. If Nasir displays his compassion, his father will punish him in the most brutal of ways. Both Zafira and Nasir are legends in the kingdom of Ahdieh, but neither wants to be. War is brewing, and the Ars sweeps closer with each passing day, engulfing the land in shadow, while Zafira embarks on a quest to uncover a lost artifact that can restore magic to her suffering world and stop the Ars. Nasir is sent by the Sultan on a similar mission, retrieve the artifact and kill the hunter. But an ancient evil stirs as their journeys unfold, and the prize they seek may pose a threat greater than either can imagine. Set in a richly detailed world, inspired by ancient Arabia, We Hunt the Flame is a gripping debut of discovery, conquering fear, and taking identity into your own hands. So that sounds like it's going to be really epic magic and drama and maybe a little bit of a romance. I'm super excited to dive into this, and I love this cover. It's really pretty. So we have this one. Lastly in my box is one that came out February 2019, and I've been meaning to get this book for the longest. I still haven't read her first debut novel. Shame on me. I own the ebook of it, but I want to get a physical copy. Again, shame on me, but that is going to be On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I have not read her first book. I have not seen the movie. but I know I want to, so I figured I would just grab this book while I could. And I just love the aesthetics of it. It's really pretty. So there we go. And again, February 2019. This book is going to be black and red with gold. And this book retails also for $19. But I'm going to read the inside plot for you guys. It says, 16-year-old Bree wants to be one of the greatest rappers of all time, or at least win her first battle. As a daughter of an underground hip-hop legend who died right before he hit big, Bree's got massive shoes to fill. But it's hard to get your come up when you're labeled a hoodlum at school and your fridge at home is empty after your mom loses her job. So Bree pours her anger and frustration into her first song, which goes viral for all the wrong reasons. Bree soon finds herself at the center of a controversy, portrayed by the media as more menace than MC, but with an eviction notice staring her family down, Bree doesn't just want to make it, she has to, even if it means becoming the very thing the public has made her out to be. Insightful, unflinching, and full of heart, On the Come Up is the ode to hip-hop from one of the most influential literary voices of a generation. It is the story of fighting for your dreams, even as the odds are stacked against you, and about how, especially for young black people, freedom of speech isn't always free. So, it's just, you know, it's going to be a really awesome read, I guess. I'm excited to dive in and see what I think of this. I've heard a lot of people rave about this, especially with the audiobook, so I most likely will listen to the audiobook while reading this. I know that this is YA contemporary. It deals with rap, obviously, and I'm interested to see where I fall on the spectrum of if I like it or not. I'm predicting this will be a 4-star read, but we shall see. Okay, so now moving on to the other picks for November, I have here, which is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky. This is the 20th anniversary edition that has a new letter from Charlie, YA contemporary. I love the movie a lot more than I love the book. I think I gave the book a 3.5-star rating, but I mean, it sounded like it would be great just to have another copy on hand for myself to own, and I don't mind rereading this book and seeing if my opinions change now that I am a little bit more into contemporary. I'm not huge on contemporary, but the ones that I've been reading lately have been really good, so I don't mind rereading to see where I fall on the spectrum. And it's a really thin read, so I figured I would read this and then rewatch the movie because I love the movie so much. And yeah, so this one is tan and blue, or brown and blue, excuse me, with gold foiling. And I'm not going to read the inside flap because it's ridiculous how long it is, but this is an anniversary edition. So it says, to mark the anniversary of his beloved cult classic, Charlie has written a heart-stopping new letter, his first in 20 years. More intimate than a diary, Charlie's letters are singular and unique, hilarious and devastating. We may not know where he lives. We may not know to whom he is writing. All we know is the world he shares, caught between trying to live his life and trying to run from it, puts him on a strange course through uncharted territory. The world of first dates, family dramas, new friends, of sex, drugs, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where all you need is the perfect song on the perfect drive to feel infinite. Through Charlie, Chbosky has created a deeply affecting novel that will spirit you back to those wild roller coaster days known as growing up. So I'm going to give this a go again. This retails for $24. So the 20th anniversary edition of this book is $24. I got it for $15. Just saying. So, book of the month, stay winning. And here is the cover. The next one is going to be fantasy. Again, another November pick, and that is going to be The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. I have not read much from Kiersten White. I think I read one book from her. I'm not really sure. But I know this is the first book in the Camelot trilogy, which follows Guinevere, who's the wife of King Arthur, and it deals with magic, and that's all I know. So we're going to read the inside flap, which says, Princess Guinevere has come to Camelot to wed a stranger, the charismatic King Arthur. With magic clawing at the kingdom's borders, the great wizard Merlin conjured a solution. Send in Guinevere to be Arthur's wife, and his protector from those who want to see the young king's idyllic city fail. The catch, Guinevere's real name and her true identity is a secret. She is a changeling, a girl who has given up everything to protect Camelot. To keep Arthur safe, Guinevere must navigate a court in which the old, including Arthur's own family, demand that things continue as they have been, and the new, those drawn by the dream of Camelot, fight for a better way to live. And always, in the green hearts of forests and the black depths of lakes, magic lies in wait to reclaim the land. Author's knights believe they are strong enough to face any new threat, but Guinevere knows it will take more than a sword to keep Camelot free. Deadly jousts, duplicitous knights, and forbidden romances are nothing compared to the greatest threat of all, the girl with the long knotted black hair, riding on horseback through the dark woods toward Arthur. Because when your whole existence is a lie, how can you trust even yourself? The first book in the Camelot Rising trilogy. And I am in love with this cover. This cover is everything. It's really pretty. I really, really love it. So, yeah. But this book is going to be blue and tan with gold foiling. The last November pick that I have for you guys is going to be The Song of the Crimson Flower by Julie C. Dow. I own her books. I have not read any of them. Sue me now. Like, I haven't read any of them, but this cover just really looked good, and it was Vietnamese-based fantasy, so I figured, why not give it a go? You know, why not step out and read some Vietnamese fantasy? And again, I just was obsessed with this cover. This cover is everything and more to me. The book itself is going to be blue and red, or navy blue and red with gold foiling. And let's read the inside flap. So it says, will love break the spell? After cruelly rejecting Bao, the poor physician's assistant who loves her, Lan, a wealthy nobleman's daughter, regrets her actions. So when she finds Bao's prize flute floating in his boat near her house, she takes it into her care, not knowing that his soul has been trapped inside it by an evil witch, who cursed Bao, telling him that only love will set him free. Though Bao now despises her, Lan vows to make amends and help break the spell. Together the two travel across the continent, finding themselves in the presence of greatness in the forms of the Great Forest's Empress Jade and the Commander Wei. They journey with Wei, getting tangled in the webs of war, blood magic, and romance along the way. Will Lan and Bao begin to break the spell that's been placed upon them, or will they be doomed to live out their lives with black magic running through their veins? In this fantastical tale of darkness and love, some magical bonds are stronger than blood. Honestly, this book just sounds really cool and really epic. I love me some good anime, so I'm here for it. This is Vietnamese based, so it's going to be interesting to get a sort of fantastical inside look on Vietnamese. And this one has some really pretty chapter headers, which when you close the book up, you can kind of see the print on it. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera because hope you guys are seeing that. It's like really pretty. And it's from the floral print, and I love the floral print. So pretty. So we have this beauty. And the last book I have is going to be an October pick, and I just had to grab it. Personally, I enjoy this author's writing. I am a fan of her duology, Wrath and Dawn. It is on my shelf right there. You're not going to be able to see it, but you can kind of see them, right? That one and that one. Yeah, so those are like some of my favorites. Her writing is just everything, and that's gonna be The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. And yes, I heard that this is supposed to be a really long series. This one is about vampires, but vampires are not prominent until the end, and there's not really many scenes with vampires. But that's okay with me. As much as I love lichens and werewolves, I still love good vampire books. So I'm excited to see how this one goes. A lot of people have mixed feelings. I know a few people enjoyed it, so I'm interested to see where I fall in the spectrum. This one is going to be black and red with silver foiling instead, which is great. And yeah, so let's read the inside flap and see what this is about. In 1872, New Orleans is a city ruled by the dead. But to 17-year-old Celine Rousseau, New Orleans is a safe haven after she's forced to flee her life as a dressmaker in Paris. Taken in by the sisters of the Ursuline convent in the middle of the carnival season, Celine is quickly entrapped by the vibrant city, from its music to its fancy soirees and even its danger. She becomes embroiled by the city's glitzy underworld known as the La Cour des Lions, I think that's how you say that, after catching the eye of the group's enigmatic leader, Sebastian Saint Germain. When the body of one of the girls from the convent is found in Sebastian's own lair, the second dead girl to turn up in recent weeks, Celine battles her attraction to Sebastian and suspicions about his guilt along with the shame of her own horrible secret. After a third murder, New Orleans becomes gripped by the terror of a serial killer on the loose, one who has now set Celine in his sights. As the murderer stalks her, Celine finally takes matters into her own hands, only to find herself caught in the midst of an age-old feud between the darkest creatures of the night, where the price of forbidden love is her life. At once a sultry romance and a decadent, thrilling mystery, master storyteller Renee Ahdieh embarks on her most potent fantasy series yet. again, I love her writing from what I've read. I have not read The Flame and the Mist, I think it is. That's the only book I haven't read from her, if I'm not mistaken. But I will read that before I dive into this. But I'm super, super excited to have this. I love how dark this looks. And I just love the cup with the roses coming out like blood. Gorgeous. But there we go. Okay, so running through again the November picks. There was a YA contemporary that I'm thinking I may want to get down the line. I think it's called When the Stars Lead to You. I will throw that cover up here on the screen, but it's really pretty, which is why I really would want to get it. But I heard that it's a cute romance. So now that I'm thinking about it, I think I do want to get my hands on that book. Now that I'm thinking about it. But the other ones I have are going to be, again, the I Have No Secrets by Penny Joelson. Never heard of her. Don't do thrillers, but this is a YA thriller. Then we also have The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky. This is a 20th anniversary edition. This is going to be YA contemporary. We then have The Song of the Crimson Flower by Julie C. Dowd. This is going to be YA fantasy, Vietnamese-based fantasy. And lastly, we have The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White, and this is YA fantasy, and it's the first book in the Camelot Rising trilogy. Following that, I now have On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, and this was the February 2019 pick. I have a May 2019 pick, which is going to be We Hunt the Flames by this author here. I'm not going to attempt to no, we're not, but by that author. And lastly, I have The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, which is an October 2019 pick, which I'm so stoked to read, which is also YA fantasy. So I did grab quite a few fantasy novels because we love fantasy. So I now have to find a way to stick it all on my shelf somehow, some way. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So again, don't forget you can sign up using my link down below. It is an affiliate link. If you sign up, I get a credit, as well as I believe you get $5 off. But you can also get your first box for $5 if you use the code YES5 from now, I think, until the end of the year, which is awesome. Again, it's only going to be your first box that you get for $5. So that first initial book that you get will be $5, but you can add on your additional 2 books for $10 a piece. So you're only going to be paying $25 for 3 books if you so choose to get 3 books for your first box. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, rating, commenting, subscribing, and all of that great stuff. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And if you are, click the bell to stay notified. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.